Because I feel like with a lot of the people who have voted for Trump, God bless them, there was not very much insight. And to fight you when you tell them the facts, that's not very smart either. Because when someone tells you something that's true, you tend to want to, you should listen. I think people have been persisting in a dream, but that dream is not real. Now, this might be because Neptune is retrograding. And when Neptune goes retrograde, people have to wake up. And they have an entire campaign in the GOP asking people not to wake up. Doesn't that make you suspicious? Why wouldn't they want you aware? Why wouldn't they want you awake so that you know what's going on? I mean, it's one thing to be like I am in this photo with my eyes closed in meditation, but it's another thing to be a complete ostrich with your head buried in the sand and making pretend that things are what they are not. That's why you have to be awake, because you have to have discernment. Can you imagine driving without being awake? Can you imagine trying to get to any destination if you're not awake? Awake is vital. That's called discernment. How can you even make a decision if you are not awake enough to know what is what? To know facts from fiction, to know real from fake. I feel like a lot of people have been brainwashed. I feel like it might have happened slowly, but it definitely happened. And I said earlier, and I'll say it again, that I believe many who believe the lies that were told by Trump will need therapy. Because that man was never in your corner. And he was never going to make America great again. Not by tearing it apart. You would never be able to rebuild it in a lifetime. So you know it was a false utterance. And no country is made great again by civil war. It didn't work the last time. That's why we're still in this in 200 years later almost. Don't listen to craziness. It's time to wake up for real and do what is right for our nation and for your family. You got lineage, right? You want your family to live? Donald Trump didn't even believe in global warming. This man not only allowed 1 million people to die, a million people to die. You know what the history books are going to say? They're going to say that this man allowed 1 million people to die, telling them to just use bleach. That is reality. I said in one of my videos just the other day, it was not until Donald Trump himself developed COVID and recovered in a miraculous way that any of us had any inkling that there was a vaccination or cure. We found out because they used it on him. People forget that. And I'm like, wait, was he going to keep that secret so that only the rich or the top 1% were going to survive? I think his anger at Biden is that Biden never allowed him to exploit whatever that vaccination was, because he had it and he knew he and his family were safe, and probably all the top 1% that he had in his crowd were safe. It was sick. We never need that kind of person in office again. And a lot of us will never, and I mean never, forgive him for allowing 1 million people to die. 1 million. So say what you will about that vaccination, but he took it and he's still alive. And I've taken it twice and I'm still alive. My child's taken it a few times and she's still alive. Her husband's taken it and he's still alive. And everybody that's taken it usually are still alive. But you know what the best part is? We have not been out spreading freaking germs to everybody else. That's the only thing that's stopping COVID. So you guys who don't want to do that, you guys are disgusting, because you have to take vaccinations for everything else. When the TB vaccination came up, guess what everybody had to do? They had to take their TB shot. When the mumps came, they had some for that. Guess what everybody had to do? They had to take their mump shot. Rubella, they had to take that. All my life, we've been taking a vaccination shot. So I don't get the mindset behind it, especially since that man took it himself and freaking survived. So stop it. I am so done with MAGA lies and cult followers. So we